So last week I asked you all whether you had a virtuous mind, and we discussed a virtuous mind. Now the virtuous mind, if we really talk about the essential, ultimate virtuous mind, it would be the mind of a bodhisattva. So at this point we have an attitude that considers those who are close to us and wishes for them to have happiness and be separated from suffering. And so what we have to do is extend that attitude towards more and more. So when our friends have something good happen to them, we're happy, and when our friends encounter any kind of difficulty, we're sad. However, to have that same attitude towards enemies would be difficult. So first of all, we have to consider this whole idea of those who are close to us and those who are enemies. So what we have to develop is an attitude of equanimity, where our attitude is equal, whether someone is close to us, whether someone is an enemy. Now, as a result, or one thing that arises out of this development of equanimity is it is a quality that a solitary, a hearer, foe destroyer would have.
Okay.
So, in order to have this attitude of wishing sentient beings to have happiness, all sentient beings to have happiness and to be separated from suffering, in order to have this prerequisite of equanimity is necessary, and there are many reasons that establish that. So as a result of meditating, implementing the causes by meditating, we can bring about this state of being a bodhisattva. Now this quality of bodhicitta, this spirit of enlightenment, will not arise immediately. We first of all have to engage in these practices that are in accord with a lesser scope being. We then have to engage in the practices that are in accord with a medium scope being, and only then are we ready to engage in the practices of a great scope being. So, in order to, the way in which we practice those practices that are in accord with a lesser scope being, a lower scope being, is by engaging in the meditation of an appreciation of this precious human rebirth and impermanence, death and impermanence. So we have to develop an appreciation for the opportunities, the freedoms and opportunities that are accorded this human rebirth, in order to engage in a delight, an appreciation of the fact that we are human. So to simply appreciate the opportunities that we have, viewing it simply from the perspective of this particular life, would not accord with the standard of true appreciation of human rebirth as is described in the Lamrim. So I think I represented that a little wrong. The accomplishments or feats or of this life will not suffice, are not what are described in the Lamrim. For example, being rich, being very powerful, attaining the position of being the leader of a great nation. These are not the accomplishments that we are striving for, or that are a sign of making use of this precious human rebirth, according to the Lamrim. Legacy. Legacy. Los. So the fact that this human opportunity is very special, very valuable, affords us a wonderful opportunity, is not something that is very hidden. It's not something that we have to look in the text to recognize. This is something that we all know. So what's important is for us to develop an awareness that this precious human rebirth is not only of value to us in this life, but it is what gives us the opportunity to have a happy future life and to avoid suffering in the future.
Okay.